Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is our part 9 of our Santa Crochet Along, and I'm very excited to be here with you guys and to continue working on our Santa. This is how he's been coming out so far, so we're moving right along here. I see Sonia in the chat. Good morning, and Annie's here. Hello, Annie. I'm so glad you could make it over my way. Oh, that's awesome. Saying hi now as we'll be cooking dinner while watching on my ancient tablet. So I'm able to join the chat straight away. No worries, continue cooking. We're just going to be stitching away here, working on Santa's belt today because I did find that gold, the little gold belt buckle that yesterday I was trying my hardest to find. Of course, guys, it was literally on the ground by my feet. Somehow I looked everywhere except the one spot that it was sitting. So here we are. So we'll finish that up today. We're also going to be working on the turtle dove. So, you know, in the famous Christmas song, we got the 12 Days of Christmas. He has his 2 turtle doves. So that's where we're getting that as kind of a nod to that song that has been around for a very long time. So we're going to do our turtle doves, and then time permitting, we may actually start on the optional birdhouse if you guys are interested in crocheting a birdhouse. So that's another option for his staff. We're going to actually be doing some moss, maybe even some lights on the staff. So these are all optional add-ons that we can add at the end of it. So again, time permitting, we'll see where we get today. Hello, Carla. Welcome in. How's it going? And, you know, let me know what you guys are working on. If you're not working on Santa, but you have something else on your hook, I'd love to hear about that. But in the meantime, will do my top-down tutorial mode here so you guys can see what I'm working on. So if you have any ends to tie in on Santa's belt, you can go ahead and just do those at your leisure. It doesn't take more than just a second to do. But you'll notice that when we made his belt, we had the 2 holes here, right, that we left. Those are going to be for buttons that are hidden buttons on the back of the belt buckle side. So with that being said, not the 2 hole side, but on the other side is where we're going to be doing his belt buckle, okay? So get everything else put away. And I'm really saying that more to myself because you guys probably do have your stuff away. But so what you're going to need is your gold little chain that you made for the belt buckle. And then you will need your yarn needle as well. And that's it. So that and your belt. And that's what we're going to be doing. So with the belt buckle, you're working in the back bump of your chain. So if this is your chain, let me see if I can get up close to the camera here. This is your chain. If you flip it over, you'll notice in the center there's a little back bump. So in this one, it's right here. Can you guys see that? So that's what we're going to pin down to the brown, or mine is brown, yours might be black, belt. And that's going to leave that nice chain there facing forward. And that's what we want. Okay. So ultimately, we just need to take our line here and we need to make a rectangle with it. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and just start up in a corner here of the brown belt, as I am going to be stitching it down. So I'm looking to see which side the, oops, let me make sure I have my longer thread here. So here's my longer side. Here we go. Okay. So I'm double checking. Okay, so that's the bump side. That's the chain side. All right. So we want the chain side facing up, the bump side facing down. And you're just going to do some top stitches here on the belt, okay? So you just grab some of the belt here, and then looking at the bottom side where the bumps are, you're going to grab that first bump and then go through. And you know what? My yarn needle, this is like one of those thicker ones. It's super thick, you guys. It's going to be way too big. Let me see if I have a smaller one. In fact, you know what? For mine, I think I'm going to use this embroidery needle if I can get it threaded, because this is such a thin yarn. It's really not a thick yarn at all. It might actually just go through this, or it might not. Let's see. Let's try it again. If I can't, then I will look for a slightly smaller. Nope, it got it. There we go. Yeah, that was one of those really chunky yarn needles, so it was not happy with me. It's not going to go through this little thin yarn here. All right, so again, we're going to go through the belt. All right, so if you go through the belt like that, then look at the back side of your chain and grab that first bump just right there. Okay, see that, guys? Right there. Then you're going to go back through your belt and gently pull. Now looking again at the next one, grab that next bump on the back. Okay, and then again going through the belt and gently fasten that off and just keep on going. Once you get to the end, you can go ahead and turn the corner as we go around and we make our little rectangle shape here for our belt. Hi, Margaret. How are you? How's it going? So Annie, you guys, she's amazing. You guys should check out her channel. And Annie, whenever you can get in the chat, if you could put the word drop in the chat, that will actually put your channel in so people can find you. I just found her this morning, actually. I was just going around. You know, I always like to hang out with people while I'm crocheting and going in lives and stuff. So she was live and she had her son on the chat as well. And they were basically, you know, she's just a crafty gal. I think in the UK is where she's located. But yeah, she was working on a gnome felting kit, but she does tons of different things. I was checking out her channel, so if you guys have time to pop on over whenever she can put her channel in the chat, I would recommend it. She even has a Discord and everybody's sharing their projects and things as well, so it's lots of fun. I always love to find crafty people, you know. It just like makes me want to do more crafts, which is, I don't know, it's a good and a bad thing, I guess, because like I just went to Joann's. I needed 1 skein of red, 1 skein of white for Peppermonte, which is this giant snail I'm going to be working on in tomorrow's live. And I came back with a whole bag of stuff, you guys. It was like, I don't know, $75 worth of stuff, like way more than just 2 skeins. I'm just saying. I can't keep it to 2 skeins, you guys. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to start rounding this, or really squaring it off here, because as you lay down the belt, you'll see the length, right? So you can kind of see, okay, do I want to go further? Do I want to not? It just depends on how long your chain worked up, right? Thank you, Margaret. Much appreciated. She's dropped Annie's channel for you guys. And it was lots of fun. Her son is really funny, and he was hanging out in the chat. So that was lots of fun. He's like her moderator. All right, so we're just going along. And give me one moment, you guys. I can hear my cat is trying to get out of the room. So talk amongst yourselves for just a moment. I don't want any accidents to happen because I'm not letting a cat out. So hang on a sec. Come on, Arthur. Go ahead. Here we go. Okay. Here we're coming back. I'm coming. There we are. That was quick, right? You know, I've got Merlin that's just sitting here next to me, and he's nice as you please. He just hangs out. But Arthur was getting antsy, I think, so I don't want to trap him in if he doesn't want to be in here, you know. But anyways, so yeah, the kids are home now for Thanksgiving, which is why I have the door shut in the hopes that it won't be as loud. It seems like the octave just always goes up so much higher when the kids are home, you know, but that's okay. It's also fun. They just bring a different layer of excitement to the atmosphere. All right, so we're coming around here. We're on the last straightaway of the belt. It's pretty quick to just stitch this little guy down. And after we stitch this this buckle part down, what we're going to do is get our 2 buttons. So not too big of buttons. I've got mine right here. So that's kind of the size I'm going with. It has to be able to go through those holes, but not be too big that you can't get it through the holes, right? So I just grabbed those 2. I think they're black or navy blue. It really doesn't matter the color because it's going to go on the back side of the buckle. So you don't have to really worry about that, which is nice. It's really just to fasten it around his belly. Hi, Lana. How's it going? Glad you could join us. Oh, you're working on a shawl. Awesome. That sounds like fun. I realized I had a scarf that I started for my son and I never finished. It's just one of the many whips that I started. So I was working on that this morning when I was watching on Annie's live. And it's coming out nice. I just need to actually sit and keep working on it. You know, that's the problem. I get so sidetracked with different things that I want to work on. So see, there's this little belt buckle. Okay, so now you just need to tie off. So just find a stitch here at the back side of the belt buckle and tie her off. What are you working on, Margaret? You got anything going on over there? You just hanging out with Icy and watching. Icy is her dog, who is a handsome boy. He's a, what is he? Is a husky or is he a mix? He's so cute though. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm just basically tucking this in. That's all, just kind of sewing it through the gold here. And now I can cut this one off. All right. Ooh, it's your first shawl, Lana? I haven't done a shawl yet. Have I? No, I haven't. I've done like a cowl hood sort of a thing that was a knitted one, but I have not done a shawl yet. Yeah, Bag a Day's got lots of tutorials, I've noticed, so I'm sure frequenting her channel soon. All right, so all I'm doing with this other end is just basically tying it in here. I got my little gripper guy. I love these things. So he's a Siberian Husky. He's so cute. All right, so I'm just tucking this in and making sure it's not pulling my work. All I want to do is just tuck it in and hide the thread and then snip it away. Okay. All right. So the other part of the belt is going to be the buttons, right? So we've got our little holes on the other side. So those are going to be going around his belly and then they'll go like this, okay? So the buttons need to fix just behind the belt, and you can use your belt here kind of as a placer for your buttons to know how far apart to go. Let me grab the other one. But it's just like, I don't know, half an inch or so. It's not very far. It's here and here. So what is that, half an inch? I'm eyeballing it. Okay, so we're gonna, one thing you can do too, you guys, let me grab Santa here. This is depending on the yarn that you've used. Let's fit it around his belly like you would. Okay, and decide where you want it to go. And just double check. If you needed to go further over, then you would put the buttons over here, but I don't. His plumpness is perfect for my belt. So we're just going to put it right behind the belt so that way it will be able to be fastened right there, okay? So we'll set Santa aside. He's molting a little bit there. Okay, so let's get our embroidery thread. Did I tie one side? I did not. Tie one side. Okay. Get your needle here. Hi, Kimberly. How are you doing? Hope your day is going well so far. And for those celebrating, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And I will be on tomorrow at my usual time. I'm going to be working on my my Peppermonte snail, you guys, which is from Garden Hoe Crochet. That's her pattern, and I've been working on it. And I've got to finish his shell and then stitch his head down to his shell. And then that's that. That's all I got left. All right, so we're just going to be putting the button on, you guys. So you're going to go between stitches because you want it to catch that knot. You don't want to go, or you're basically splitting the yarn, okay? And that's going to hold that knot in there. You don't want to go into the hole or the knot will just pop right back out again, right? Okay, so now we're just going to go around a few times. So we're going around the button, and then we're going to go back through the belt, coming back around that same area here, and just stitch that button down until it doesn't really move too much. So it may take, you know, could take 4 or 5 stitches, something like that. So just go through it. Little tad, tiny little bit of sewing, nothing too crazy. Now you'll know how to fix a coat if it loses a button, right? All right, so we're just going through the button, back into the belt, and just back on over. Maybe do one more. Good morning, Martha. How are you doing this morning? We are finishing up Santa's belt, and then we're going to do some turtle doves. I had as I was driving to Joann's, I had a rock kick up and make a crack in my windshield. Oh, not fun. Not looking forward to having to replace that. I was behind a truck and it was pretty loud when it hit, but it's left like a little, maybe like that big of a chip in the front there. So no bueno. All right, so once you've got that button on, you can just have it go down about the 1/2 inch like we were measuring or eyeballing rather earlier. And we're just going to sew on the other button. So doing the same thing as we just did, but just over a little bit here. All right, just keep on going. So now we're getting the other button on there. It's going to be so cute. Oh, it's nearly dinner time for you, Annie. What are you guys doing for dinner? Anything fun? Yeah, you know, and it's only a matter of time before it starts to like spider web out from that, because there's the big chunk and then there's like a little like crack coming out from it. And it's a Tesla too, you guys, which we're kind of like at this point not happy about. I won't really go into explanations. It's kind of like more of a personal dislike of somebody linked to Tesla. There you go. Not the car itself per se, but I have no idea how much a windshield's going to cost for that. I have no clue. Okay, so we've got the buttons nicely fastened. Now we can go ahead and tie the thread off at the back here. Veggie tagine. Oh, I've never heard that. Are you, is it like vegetarian or vegan? That sounds, I mean, anything with veggies in it's good with me. I love veggies. Come on, catch it. There we go. Okay. And just snip that away like so. Grab Santa. Okay, let's fit his belt on. Okay. And we're going to go from the back here, if you see. So we're just pushing the buttons through these holes like this to fasten them off here, or to give him his belt properly. There we go. See, eyeballing it works just as well. And then it holds his belt just like that. So Santa himself, he's done. Okay. And you could leave him like he is. You know, he's got his hat. He's got his, there's his wreath that we made before, right? So he got his wreath and everything. But your other thing is the turtle doves. So the stick that I have in his hand here, you'll see does not have any branches. And that's because I am going to be doing a birdhouse on this one. Okay. So this is the birdhouse. It's an optional birdhouse, you guys. And it has, I'll show you with my hook here. It has a hole here so we can actually stick another stick through it and put the turtle dove on there. Okay. It's also hollow, which is exciting too. So if we do lights, we could actually pop a light up in there and it can actually illuminate from the birdhouse, which is, I thought would be really fun. And we can do moss on it to kind of decorate the house, since it's just, you know, it's meant to look like your plain wooden birdhouse, and then you would deck it out from there, right? But just to kind of show you what I made inside to give it a little bit more structure, since it is hollow, what I've done is I got this idea from Nancy, you guys, from Little Treasures by Nancy. These are those Jenga ones from the Dollar Tree, guys. And these are the little square ones from the Dollar Tree. So I just built this tiny little box structure here with materials from the Dollar Tree, and you just glue them together. It's nice and easy, right? And fit up inside here, I made just this little thing out of cardboard, you guys, so it's not hard to do, right? And I just sort of like measured it on the back side here, I was like, okay, well, I don't want it to be exactly that thickness, or it's not going to fit, right? So I went in a little bit, and then it just sits up in there just to give it a little bit of structure to it, and that way it's not as soft, right? So it's not too complicated, you guys. I was thinking, you know, because if I got my dad involved, it would become a very complicated birdhouse. I love my dad to death, but oh my gosh. I mean, there would be a whole wooden structure inside of the crochet, you know. And then he'd be like, just get rid of the crochet. Look at this beautiful birdhouse I built. Anyway, so this is what we're going to be making, you guys. Okay, so this will be the birdhouse. Again, it's optional. So if you don't like it, don't do it, right? If it's not your thing, don't worry about it. So that'll be the next part. The other option here, and I'll show you on my other Santa, because he's got the other option, is to just get a cool stick from outside that actually has some gnarls to it, has little branches coming out, because you're actually going to just tie 2 strands, or it's actually 1 strand that you just loop a couple times, of that pretty glistening gold color that we used for Santa's belt. We use that for the beak, and we use that for the little leggies, but you can just kind of see it's just wrapped around the stick a couple of times, and it looks like their little feet, right? So that's how they sit on there. So this is your other option. So we're gonna start with doing a turtle dove on a stick like this, and then we'll start making the optional birdhouse, and we'll go from there. So you guys have options. I like to give options, guys. So, you know, to each their own, you should have options. All right, so I do have other sticks in here that, thanks to my dad, he went around for me and found some cool ones. So I've got this one, and then I also have this one. So my options are these 2. They're actually rather large though, so I would probably break them down if I was going to, but this is just going to be an example for if you want to do this option, right? So let's make a turtle dove together. Okay, let's get that going. So let me get my pattern here for you so that you guys can follow along. All right, here they are, 2 turtle doves and a partridge in a pear tree. Okay, I'm getting Santa out of my way, like so. Get my space all floofed around here. Hello, Sari Fairy, how are you? And hello, Moon Rose. Right? Margaret's like, I was wondering what you were going to do with that birdhouse. Yes, that's what I'm doing. That's a method to my madness here. Okay, so you're going to need some white yarn and your crochet hook as well. Okay. And you don't have to stick to 2 turtle doves. That's just because of the song. You can make as many as you want, but that's where I was at with it. Sorry, coffee break here. Okay, so let's grab our hooks. We're starting with a magic ring. You know me, I like my double magic ring. So I make my little pistol shape. I go back around once, twice, and 3 times, holding it with my thumb. We're going to go under the first 2, up and over that last one, and bring that last one forward to make my little A here. Then I just slip my little fingers out here, but I'm still holding the back. That's my tension holders, right? Yarn over, pull through. That's just created that little slip, the little slip stitch there on our rings. Now we're going in through the rings, and we're going to do 4 single crochets into the rings. So we're going in, yarn over, pull a loop forward, yarn over, and pull through. That's a single crochet. And doing that 4 times, like so. Okay. Now you just gently start to pull the tail, and you'll see this one starts to come in. Then stop and grab the one that's trying to go in and pull that one first. So that'll pull the other loop in. If you're doing the double magic ring, it will only have 1 loop if you're doing a single magic ring. So smoked turkey, that sounds delightful. Okay, so there's our little magic ring with our 4 stitches on. Okay, grab your stitchy marker and place your stitch marker like so. And we're starting round 2, which is just a single crochet and then an increase, and we just do that twice. So single crochet in the first, and then an increase is just 2 in the one. So we're just putting 2 single crochets into 1 stitch from the prior round. Then do that pattern again. So single crochet and then another increase. Smoked turkey, yeah. My brother's doing, he has so many different grills. He has like this egg one, and then he has a smoker, and then he has some other one too. So he's in charge of turkey and ham. He's making both, so I have no idea what to expect, but I'm sure it will be delicious tomorrow, so I'm excited. Okay, so for round 3, we're going to start with 2 single crochets. So start with the 2. So 1 and 1. Oops, don't split the yarn like that. Okay, just get 1 in this first one, then 1 in the next. Okay, and then 2 in the next. So we're doing that increase stitch right there. Okay. Now do another single crochet in the next, and single crochet in the next. Okay, and then we're going to basically be doing a sort of like a picot sort of stitch, okay? So we're going to single crochet in the next, so single crochet. Okay, there's our single crochet. Now chain 2, 1, 2, slip stitch in the second chain from the hook to create that little point there, all right? And then do another single crochet in that same stitch to join. Okay, so you see how it's created a little bit of a tail shape for our little bird. And then that's it. So we're going to fasten off. So we're slip stitch in the next, like so. Fasten off and leave a little tail. Doesn't have to be a huge tail. All right. Okay. Now this other tail that was from our magic ring, we can just clip that one away. So just get rid of that one. All right. Now, for the beak, which is on the next line, we need our gold. So grab your gold back. That's going to be the beak color. Just set it on fire and have something else, right? You're like, oops. Whoops. I guess I'll have to do something different. All right, so start with the little slip knot on your hook. Okay, just like that. And these are so easy, you guys, okay? Chain 2. 1, 2, okay? Slip stitch in the second chain from your hook. So that first one that you made. And that's all. Okay, cut away. Just wait. I'll show you what I did with this, okay? All right. And then pull the other one. So basically you're left with this little sort of a shape, okay? All right. And then let me go down because I just want to show you, we'll assemble it together, okay? And for me, I'm visual too, so I haven't done this in a while, so I'm just gonna look because, you know, we're gonna do this together, you guys. So, hang on, bear with. All right, so you can see the bird here, okay? So what I do first is I basically do the eyeball first. Here, I'm gonna just shove this over here a little bit so it is smaller. Okay, so you're gonna first need that black embroidery thread that we used for sewing the button on. You can use that one. Here we go, tie your knot. We like Annie's plan. That's right. Okay, so I just tied my little knot there. Now grab your birdie. So just as another look-see here, we're going to do a French knot on either side of the head. Okay, that's what we're doing. So looking at the head, you've got your magic ring right here. So we're kind of going in between the first and second row or round, but you need to make sure that you are splitting the stitch, okay? So you leave that knotted end on the inside of your bird. Okay, so that is on the inside. Next, you're making a French knot, okay? So just wrap it around. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do 5. And you're going to put it next door a little bit because you don't want to go in the same hole or else it will pop back in. And that's not what you want. So just going a little bit next door. Not too far away, okay? Not too far, you guys. Just like this. And I keep tension on this end, okay? Because you also don't want it to get super loose and then you end up with this like wonky looking eye. French knots are not my favorite, you guys, I'll admit. They are testy little buggers, but they do look cute when they look cute. I'll say that, okay? So we're just gonna pull this needle through. Hopefully, there we go. All right, and still holding that tension, we're just gonna gently pull, not catching that, I hope. There we go. Just gently pull to get the eye in there, okay? And you can kind of adjust it a little bit, but you want the knot essentially to be on the outside like that, okay? Then you're gonna go to the other side of the face of your bird and do the same thing. So you're gonna do another French knot, so just jump across. You can use the same thread, no need to tie it off yet. Yes, leftovers are delightful. Yarning over or basically wrapping it around your needle here several times. So I usually do about 5 times, especially because my embroidery thread is not too thick. You know, if you had like all 6 strands, I don't think this isn't 6 strands though. That's why I'm wrapping it enough times to make a nice eyeball. You make your French knots rustic on purpose, Annie. I like that. That's right. So if it comes out wonky, it's not wonky, it's rustic, okay? It's purposely like that. I love that. There we go. Okay, and again, my tail's trying to jump in. There we go. Okay, so we've got our two little eyeballs there. See? Two little eyeballs. Just like that. That one's a little rustic. Right, Annie? That's the rustic eye. The other one is traditional, regular. It looks nice. Here's my rustic eye. All right. So now we're going to just tie this off on the back side of our work because we're done with the thread. We just need to do the beak. Okay. Now let's try to grab this one. And oh, Jesus, you know, it's just one of those kind of days, you guys. Oh, anyway. Okay, all I'm doing is tying this off and trying not to get anything else to come in there with it, but everything's trying to join the party here. All right. There we go. Now clip that away. Okay, you can set that aside. All right. Now we're going to do the beak. So grab your beak. And if I can show you, basically, the beak is folded in half. So see how far it sticks out? It's basically going to be folded in half, you guys, to create the beak. So that's what we're doing. So grab your thread. I'm going to need my embroidery needle for this thread since it's pretty thin. And I know that the yarn needle I have is going to be way too thick. I'm just going to thread my needle here. There we go. That gold piece didn't want to go in. Let me see if I can just get the gold to go in. It's the only problem with those ones where they twist the little shimmery thread around, the little piece of tinsel or whatever the heck it is. It's not like fastened into the yarn very well, so you have to make sure you catch that as well. There we go. Where Olivia's famous for turkey, and they are giants. Reckon I should get at least 6 meals from one. Wow. It's awesome. All right. So we're going to go in between the eyes here as we build up our little face. Here we go. So I'm going to grab the other side of the beak and stitch that down. My goodness. I'm needing this little rubber circle thing more today than ever. Maybe I'm like losing my strength. I don't know. Okay. So there's his little beak is coming out here. So you could tie this one off because you have the other end, right? So you got to get the other side. You can use that one to do the foldy bit. That is a technical term. All right. So clip this one away. My scissors are connected to my embroidery thread. Here we go. And then thread your other needle, or thread your other thread. Thread your other thread. I don't know, you guys. I'm mush mouth today. I need more coffee. I mean, this is day 9, right? I mean, come on. A little grace here, right? It's like we've been working on this. Yesterday we worked for 3 hours. That was a long day, but in a good way, All right, so what I am going to do now is kind of do the folding of the beak. This is optional, you guys. You could leave it as it is too. That's totally up to you. Or you can just kind of go up through the end there and then just go back down into the inside of your bird and kind of grab my thing here again. Oh my goodness. Why is this so difficult today? There we go. It's going to work with me, I think. Okay, and then just sort of fold. It just kind of folds it in a little bit, and it just makes it pop out in a more of a beak sort of shape to me. But that's totally personal preference, you guys. So just kind of mold it how you want it. But that is his little beak. Now we can tie this side off on the inside, of course. And then we'll go to the next part, which is stitching the body up. Here we go. Cut that end away. Okay. Turtle dove, not the turkey. Oh, good. Thank you. He is pretty cute, right? All right. So now we're going to get our white yarn and get your yarn needle. Here's mine. And he's so small, you guys. You really you don't even stuff him. You just gonna fold him in half basically and whip stitch the bottom, but you don't need to whip stitch the tail. Okay, so leave the tail alone so that it can just kind of hang out, and you're just gonna go across from where your end is and just whip stitch the rest of the body closed. And this will just make sure you can't see any of the threads on the inside that you've been tying away, and just is a good way to finish off the body here. Okay. So see that? He's got our little bird shape, and that doesn't have his feet yet, but we'll be getting there. So hang on just a minute. So now we just need to tie off our thread. So just picking up one of those stitches and tying it off, and then tucking that knot in. Okay. Here's our little guy. So cut that away, like so. Tuck that little guy in. Okay. So here's our little bird shape. Now we're going to need gold one more time. Where did it go? Okay. It's like, it's not working with me. Oh my goodness. Are we still talking about turtle doves or turkeys, Annie? Oh my goodness. Okay, so now we're on this last part here, okay? So with a strand of golden yarn, we're fastening these turtle doves to the branch, or his staff rather, making 2 loops around the branch to look like the bird's feet. So grab your branch, whatever branch you're going to use. So I'll just go ahead and use this one. There we go. And grab a length. Actually, I might be able to do this length. Or was it this one? This one's not. It's like perfect length, I think. We're going to go with it here. So I'm going to thread my embroidery needle with the gold here. Maybe. Did I get all of it? I did. No, did I not get the gold again? Oh, I hate these ones, you guys. Oh my goodness. It's this gold. It just does not, this tinsel bit. I mean, I like the shimmer, but it just does not want to go with the yarn. Oh, there we go. Oh, I've been enjoying hanging with you too. I hope you have a wonderful dinner, and we will see you next time, hopefully. All right. Yeah, see, the gold is just like trying to come untethered here, but we're going to make it work. I'm just making it go down a little bit. Okay. So let's do this. Let's tie a little knot on the other side. Half turtle and half turkey. All right. So let's go in through the little tiny, there's like a little gap, right? There's a little gap where that tail is because we didn't whip stitch it. So I'm going to kind of go in there and come out wherever I want the feet to come, which is going to be right around there. Again, making sure that you're splitting through the stitch so that your knot can fix to the inside. Of course, it pulled off my needle, but that's okay. Okay. Hang on, that was a really long end. Let me cut that down. Okay. Let me just rethread my needle one more time because I will need it for just a second here. It doesn't want to work with me today. Come on. Then the gold threads, you guys, and not the thread. Hi, Country Pumpkin. How you doing? Oh my gosh. All right, I'm just trying to thread my thin yarn that has that weird tinsel through my embroidery needle. All right, I'm gonna see if that's threaded enough because I'm so over this this like embroidery needle and stuff. Okay, so grab your bird, figure out where you want it on your stick. Okay, so you're gonna wrap it. You're wrapping it basically and going up into the bird. Hang on, this is like hard for me to do and talk at the same time. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it around. This is gonna be 1 foot. So we're gonna wrap it around. We'll go back through that same spot, coming back out onto the other side. Like so. And then we're gonna wrap it a second time for his other foot. And then go to the back side of him. And go back into the same space so that you've got your foot finished off. And then I usually go to the other side where the other leg is. So let me do this. Hang on, let me get in the camera. That'd be nice, huh? Come on. There we go. Just make sure it doesn't pull out again. Okay. All right, and then you can kind of pull it more tightly, right? Because you want to make sure the legs are on. And he's facing whatever direction that you're wanting him to face, right? And then you can tie it off to the other leg. And then you'll just tuck that little knot into the bird itself, okay? I know this is a little testy, it's a little difficult, but it looks really cute when it's done, right? It's just takes a little coordination, which I will admit I don't have much of today. All right, so I just tied the knot. I'm gonna go back into the bird and come out somewhere else, making sure that I'm not wrapping it around the stick again, because all I'm wanting to do is just tuck that knot in, okay, into the body. Here's our little bird. Here he is in all his little glory. Okay, and then you can just tuck that back into the body. You might have to like go in from the inside and wiggle it or clip it away, however you want to do it, but it should go back into the body. There we go. Okay, so there's your little bird. So there's one little bird. You would make a second one if this is the option that you're going to go with. And I know that the sticks molt. It's just part of nature, you know, just part of nature. It's okay. So anyway, so here's option 1, all right? So you can make your second one if this is what you're going with, or you can make with me a birdhouse that it will be able to have as another option, okay? So I found a yarn, you guys. I remember if you have been sticking with me here, you'll know that I used, this was a scrap yarn that I had, and I just loved how it had all these natural bits in it, right? Like almost like it was made from nature, but I didn't have a big ball of it. I only had like a pretty little ball of it. And so I wasn't going to be able to show you guys making it with the same one, but I did go to Joann's today and I found something very similar because as I said, I don't even know what brand it was, and I didn't see it at Joann's, so I don't even know if they're still selling it. But I found one that's very similar to that. It's just a different shade of brown, but it does have all those kind of flecks in it. And this is from Big Twist. It's called Tweed. Big Twist Tweed, and it is a 4-ply. And it is what? It's chocolate is the color. 97% acrylic, 3% polyester, you guys. Okay, so this is what we're going to use for the birdhouse, or this is what I'm going to use for this birdhouse. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just take this pattern and close it off. Boop, just like that. I'm going to move over here. Oh, Margaret's making pumpkin bread rather than pumpkin pie. Ooh, my son would go for that. That's for sure. Okay. So this was my little doodle, you guys. This was my little doodle for the birdhouse. So we're making it in pieces, and then we're going to stitch them together. So you've got 2 top pieces, a front piece, which has this little hole, right? And this little hole where we can stick a stick through. You have 2 side pieces that are the same, and then you have a back piece, which is basically the same as the front, except for minus the holes. It's just a solid back piece, okay? I did not have enough yarn at the time for a chimney, but I am thinking of adapting this and making a gingerbread house ornament, so that would be in another video. But for now, we're going to work with this one, okay? So that's what we're doing right now. So set your stick aside and grab your yarn, whatever you're going to use. I punched my board earlier, you guys. I left a divot. Grab your size F crochet hook and your stitch marker. Actually, you don't need the stitch marker. I forgot. You're working back and forth, so you really don't need it. So I think we're all talking about food at this point, right? Oh, Martha, weren't you making a turkey hat? Did you finish your turkey hat? All right, so let's start off. We're going to make the roof pieces, okay? So we're going to make 2 of them. So you need to start with a slip knot on your hook, like so. And then we're starting with a chain 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, so there's our 13. Single crochet in the second chain from your hook, and then single crochet in the remaining chains. So that's going to end you with 12 stitches at the end. Yes, key lime pie is delicious. Although I always thought key lime pie was supposed to be a greenish color, which I think you can make it that way, but maybe you just add food coloring to make it more of a lime color. Because whenever my mother-in-law makes it, it's white. So it's kind of, I don't know. It's like my brain doesn't, I don't tend to like white liquidy things, you know? Like I'm not a mayo fan. Although I do like vanilla ice cream, so that's good. But yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. I thought it should be green. So anyway, okay, so we're going to chain 1 and turn our work, and we're just single crocheting across for quite a few rows here. So all the way through row 10, that's what we're doing. So we're really just making rectangles, you guys, nice and easy. They work up pretty quick. Not too much here. Okay, so that is just food coloring then. I don't know why I thought it would be green just naturally, but I think because whenever I used to have it when I was younger, it was always green, or it was a shade of green, like a light lime, you know, color. So as we get to the end, we're just chaining 1 and turning and just single crocheting back across. So we're not adding to the length at all. We're just sticking it with the 12 stitches back and forth. And we're doing that all the way through row 10. What is everybody's favorite kind of pie? Or if you don't like pie, do you like cake? Like what's your go-to? Your go-to dessert for Thanksgiving? or any holiday if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Not everybody celebrates, and not everybody's here in the US, so I think we're going to be having pumpkin pie. My dad likes the pecan pie, so we'll have those two, I believe, but I like the pumpkin with a little dollop of whipped cream. Peach pie, yes. Oh, I love peach pie. I like the, what is it called Dutch apple with the crumbles on top? Oh, so good. So good. All right, I hit the end. I'm chaining one and turning my work again and going back across. Blueberry pie, yes. Peach cobbler, oh my gosh. This is making me hungry. We have blackberries around here a lot. In fact, Washington is like overrun by blackberries. I mean, that was one of the first things I noticed when I came for a visit, when my brother had moved and we were considering it, is they just grow wild everywhere, tons of blackberries. And so my dad will take the blackberries, and sometimes if there's not enough, he'll add blueberries and make like he'll add, what does he add? Blueberries and, is it raspberries? He makes like a triple berry pie. That's really good. But yeah, berry pies are good stuff. So I'm just going back and forth. Peach cobbler, yum. Oh, Jack Daniel's chocolate pecan pie. That sounds delightful. Ah, everybody's so creative with their desserts. We do the store-bought ones now, but you know, my dad does the berry pies and such. Don't know if I've ever made a pie. I've made cakes before, and I've made cupcakes. So we're just going back and forth. Apologies if you can hear the kids. They're chattering away with their friends. But I have my door shut, so hopefully it's not too loud. You have black raspberries in your backyard. I have to keep cutting them back, or they would take over the world. Yes. Yes, I know. They really do. And the blackberry ones, they send out those tendrils that are covered in thorns, and they just end up like they're so spiny, you know? It's awful. Can you guys hear my kids and their friends? Let me know if it's too loud. Hopefully not. Kind of is what it is, right? Because of the holidays. They're not in school, so what can I do? What can I do? You know, around here, and I don't know if this is, I don't think it's native to here or anything, but they have like wild, it's a type of raspberry, I believe, but it's kind of a yellowish color, and it grows as a ground cover. Really, really pretty. So it's pretty, and they're very tasty, but they don't get as big as a regular raspberry. They're pretty small. They're just little pops of sweet. So, but I don't remember ever seeing those in California. But being up here in Washington, I see them all over the place. Right, yes. Yeah, my dad actually has marionberry bushes in his yard, and it would touch down and create another one. And so now he gave us one. He's given my brother marionberries as well to plant. And so we've got one of those in our backyard. He's actually creating like two kind of a wine barrel-y half barrels, and then a trellis for me. It's gonna be so pretty for our backyard, so they can climb up, and then you can just walk under and pick them off when they ripen. Cloudberries. Ah. Are they in the same family as raspberries? because they look like little mini raspberries. Cloudberries. That's a good name. All right, I'm going to count because I might actually 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so I'm on my last row here. Okay, so we've done that. You can finish this one off, leaving a tail. All right. So that's one of the roof pieces, okay? So it's one of these guys right here. So set that aside, and we're going to make another one really quick in the same family. That makes sense. All right, so we're doing our slip knot on our hook, and we're just chaining 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So what are people's favorite things to plant in your garden that you can eat? I think one of our favorites was planting cucumbers. We really enjoyed getting all those cucumbers, but they only come out perfect. I think you have to put bottles on them. That's what the farmers do. They'll put like glass jars around them so that they can actually grow straight. Otherwise, they hit the ground and then they start bending every which way, and they're kind of wonky looking, but still tasty. But those are one of our favorites. All right, so all I did was I did my chain, and then I single crocheted second chain from the hook, and we're just going down the line here. So we'll have 12 stitches again. Chain 1 and turn at the end, and then single crochet back up the line, back and forth until we get to the 10th row. We got to go through 10 of these, right? Anything you can grow. Yeah, it's fun. We have, what do we have? We have blueberries, and we didn't get that many this year, though. I don't know if the birds ate them or they just didn't make that many, but we have blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries. And then where the raspberries are, we've had before, we've done like those pea pods that grow up the vine, and we've done cucumbers. That was good. It's fun though. It's fun to grow your own food. My son, like, he doesn't eat, he's very, very picky, but he's less picky if we grew it ourselves in the backyard. Then he'll try things. So, well, hello, Dazzling Action. I'm glad that you could join. We are now working on the optional birdhouse for the turtle doves. So this is fun. We're on our second rooftop tile here. And then we're just basically making the pieces. It's kind of like when you're building a gingerbread house, right? Everything starts off as flat pieces, and then you got to get them stitched together here. Yeah, cukes on the trellis. I guess that would probably, if they climb, although I don't know that all cucumbers climb. I don't think they do. But if they climb, then you could get them to look nice. Otherwise, they just start twisting and stuff. What are you working on, Dazzling Action? Are you still working with blanket yarn? What you making? All right, we're just going down the line. Oops. All right. I got my other box of Premier, you guys. It came. So I've got my second box of Premier. And then I got some more yarn from Joann's. I knew I needed more of the red and the white for my Peppermonte because I'm almost out of the white. And the red, I don't know if I'm going to have enough. And I didn't want to play yarn chicken, so I bought a second skein just in case. So I may have the extra at the end of that, but rather have a little bit too much than not enough. Yeah, some are the bush kind of cucumbers. That's right. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think we thought we got climbers, but we didn't. We got the bushy kind because we had them near something to climb, and they were like, nope, I have no interest in climbing. Thank you very much. So we got the wrong ones, but they still were tasty. It was the first time I'd had a cucumber that was like warm from being out in the sun, you know, and you haven't chilled it yet. It was very good. All right, so we are going back up the line, making our rooftop. Another premiere sale, Lana? Oh my gosh. Have you bought anything? I know you were right there with me, I think, when I was buying mine. I was thinking I'll just do like a haul video, I think, and I'll showcase all the premiere yarns that I got. That way people can see, but I know Bloom will be in this one, but I know that there's other things in there too. So. Oh, nice. What are you going to grow this year, Margaret? Or next year? Flipping it around, going back. I tried to, like, I had got milkweed seeds because I love the flowers from the milkweed plant, and I wanted to get to see, hopefully, the monarch butterflies, since that's where they their life cycle is, like on the milkweed plants. So I wanted to show the kids and do all of that, but they never grew. So I don't know what I did wrong. But maybe another time, or maybe this is just not the climate for milkweed. I'm not sure. Let's see. Not yet. My son picked some he wants a hat out of. Well, he's enabling you then, as far as I'm concerned. If he already picked it out, I mean, you have to buy stuff, right? And then you have to spend, what is it, $75 or $100 so you get free shipping. Margaret grows cherry tomatoes on the other side of your porch, and it can sit out there and pick them and eat them right off the bush. Oh, that sounds lovely. Lots of sales. Black Friday started a couple of weeks ago up here in Canada. Yeah, we've got a lot of the sales going on too. At Joann's, a lot of things were on sale. I ended up getting some more different colors of the, what is it called? It's Big Twist Supernova, those yarns, and ended up doing, so I got 2 other colorways, and I got 3 of each, so that's supposed to be enough to make a sweater or a cardigan or a poncho or something like that. So I got those, and they were like $4.99, which is pretty good for that type of yarn. I think they're normally at least $9.99, if not more. And then Big Twist is like $2.99 right now. And then all the scrapbooking, like journaling supplies were like half off. So I got some of those too. Yeah. Ice is 85% off. I've never tried ice yarn. Is it good? Never tried that. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, I already did 10. See, I was going too far. Okay, so we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yep. We did our 10 rows here. Now we're going to hold them together, so bear with. Let me get my other side. There we go. Okay. So you want the braided ends up. So you see the braids, the braided ends are both up like that. You want those up. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just chain 1 just to kind of get a little height here. And we're going to go into the first braid on this other one, and then through our braid on our current one here, just like that. And we're just going to slip stitch these 2 together, and this is going to create the pitched roof that we need for our birdhouse. So then we'll go into the next one And we're just going to slip stitch and go all the way across the top of our birdhouse here. Here we go. Almost done. Oh, you love ice yarn? Do you get those like a tomato, what is it, a tomato caterpillar or something? They're like green. I've seen those before. Coming up all over the place. Oh, gotcha. Big box stores. Does Joann's carry ice? I don't think I've ever seen it. Oh, wonky weather. Yeah. Okay, once you get to the end, then you can go ahead and cut this away and tie it off. So see, it's created that little kind of rooftop section there, just like we had on this birdhouse. Okay, so now we've got our roof, so that you can set that aside. All right, so now we're going to make the front panel, and the front is the one that's got the little holes in. You've only had one tomato worm? Oh my goodness. Oh, so Lana, did you buy some of the ice yarn? Oh my goodness. Kids are going crazy. I can hear them. All right, so we're going to start with another slip knot on our hook here, and we're going to chain 11 this time, okay? So 1, 2, hang on, that got split. Let me do that again. I don't want my yarn to be split. It'll make it difficult to get back into when we go and do the return pass there. All right, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so now single crochet in the second chain from your hook and then across the remaining chain. Everything's too far for you, so you just buy it online. Oh, and ice yarns are only sold online. I gotcha. Okay. If Premier had puzzle on sale again, I'd be in big trouble. Did you get some when you bought some from Premier recently? I don't know if I bought any. It might be in the box. I don't remember what I bought. So it's going to be a total surprise to me when I open my box. All right, so when you get to the end, chain 1 and turn. And for the next 2 rows, we're going to go and do the same thing. So we're just single crocheting across, chain 1 and turn at the end, and then do the same one more time after that. You get in trouble online, yeah. I know. I get in trouble when I go to the stores too, like I did today. I'm like, I came for 2 skates of yarn and I spent $80. What the heck? I got a medium bag full of stuff. It gets all the way to the top. So yeah, but everything is on sale right now. So it makes it hard not to, you know? Oh, I'm giving up on this one. Okay, here we go. I'm splitting my yarn here, so I went back a stitch. Hi, Angela. How's it going? Thanks for hopping in and saying hi and hanging out. Okay. There we go. Now chain 1 and turn and go back across one more time here as usual, and then we'll start making the little holes for different things, like for a stick to poke through and then also for the window on the birdhouse. Hi, Arts and Anthropods. How's it going for you today? Happy Thanksgiving to anybody that's celebrating. What's going rough, Angela? Chain 1 and turn. Okay, so we've got, that's our third row. So now we're on the fourth. We're going to do 4 single crochets. So start with 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. Now chain 2 and skip 2. So we're going to skip 1 and 2 and then go into the third hook, or the third stitch there, and we're going to just go ahead and finish off with single crochets. So that's 4 single crochets. I'm live right now. Do you need something?
Can you, I can't find a charger for my iPad if that works. I tried a charger and it wasn't working.
Okay. Can you ask? There's one right next to your bed. That's where it was charging all night. And could you shut the door, honey? Sorry, it's a gauntlet of yarn around here. All right, so once we've reached the end, so see that left a little gap, and that's where we can get a stick through. So if you're doing the birdhouse and you're looking for sticks and stuff, so see how it will fit a little stick through. So we can either, if you have a stick that has a nice post and one stick sticking out, that would be perfect. I don't have one of those specifically, so I will probably have to do some gluing to the one that I have and just break off a stick and stick it through and glue it to my post that's inside. But as you're going around on walks and such, look for those kind of sticks and you'll probably be able to find them. So chain 1, turn your work again. All right, now we're going to start with 4 single crochets as we did before. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Jones from BC Arts and Anthropology, just trying to catch up with the chat here. Oh, 2 fur babies. I've been getting calls after calls. Oh my gosh, so you're having a time of it, Angela. I'm sorry. That's no bueno. Okay, and then we're gonna, now that we're back to that little space there, we're gonna do 2 single crochets into that chain 2 space, okay? So 1 and 2 without splitting it, and then just go back to the end here by single crocheting those last 4. Oh, you're talking about shows. I can see Dan Hurd, Rockhound and Gold Prospector, Destination Adventure, also from British Columbia. Chain 1 and turn your work. Okay, and then we'll do 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, leave the rest unworked for now. Chain 1 and turn, and single crochet back across those 3. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1 and turn, do a decrease. So we're just going to go through the first one, through the second one, yarn over and pull through all those loops, and a single crochet. Chain 1 and turn, and do another decrease in those last 2 there. Okay. And then we can go ahead and fasten this one off. So we now are going to build up the other side, and then we'll pick them back up to finish the peak of the roof, okay? So let's fasten that off for now. Create some ends, but you can always just tie them off on the inside of your birdhouse if you want to do it that way, or just tuck them in, whatever's easier for you. All right, so start again with a slip knot on your hook. You're going to skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 from that one side and go into that 5th stitch there. And we'll connect it with a single crochet. So we're connecting it with a single crochet, and then single crochet in those last 2. Then do a chain 1 and turn, single crochet back across, 1, 2, and 3. Whoops. Okay, chain 1 and turn. Do 1 single crochet and then a decrease. So you're basically kind of doing the opposite of what you did before. The decreases are to start pulling the sides in so that you can start getting that pitched roof look, okay? Chain 1 and turn, and then we'll do a decrease like so. Okay, so now we've built up both of the sides just like that. All right, I'm just double checking what I've said to do here. Yep. Chain 4 single crochet second side. Okay. All right, so let's fasten this one off. Okay, so we've got our 2 sides there. Because what we need to do is we need to build it up to the next side, all right? So let's see. Let's grab our yarn, starting again with a slip knot. And we're going to now cross them over together. So let's do that together. So we're going to pick up this stitch here. And we're going to do a single crochet. Okay, now we're going to do chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you're going to single crochet on the other side in that one that you have on the other side, okay? So just do a single crochet. So that's to connect them together. You wanted them to be at the same level, and that's why we did it this way. Otherwise, if you built up one of the sides, you would have one side higher than the other, and then they would be uneven. So this gets it nice and even for you. And so now that we've got them stitched together like that, we could do our chain 1 and our turn. And then we need to go do our single crochet as usual. I'm like trying to keep up with the chat too. So if there's anything specific, so this is just taking more of my attention, but if there's anything specific that I need to know, because I think you're talking about good shows, right? Which is always exciting. I'd love to be in on that conversation, but all right. So we're basically, we're doing our single crochets. Now we need to do single crochets across the chain. All right. So we're doing 4 of those, right? Because we did a 4 chain. So we're working our way back across. So here's 3, whoops, and last one here, 4. And then we've got 1 more single crochet on the other side. Here we go. There's our last one. So that's 6 total stitches. All right, chain 1 and turn. And we're going to do 2, we're going to double, oh my gosh, you guys, stop and rewind. My mush mouth is coming out again. All right, I'm going to do a decrease. There it goes. Decrease on the ends, and then just single crochet 2, and then decrease on the other end. Now that we've got them connected, we're just doing that little pitch of the roof there. Okay, here we go, just like that. Okay, so you can see that we're almost done building up this roof. Chain 1 and turn. Now we're just going to do 2 decreases. Watch Itchy Boots. Itchy Boots? Oh, that sounds awesome. I don't know. I like the name though. And then chain 1, turn, and do a final decrease here on that end. This last one here. Boop, just like that. Okay. All right. Just checking on my little sheets here. So that's the end of that one. So now you can fasten that off. and you do have some ends, but like I said, you can always just tie them together at the back if you want to, or you can weave them in, whatever's clever. But this is just created your little front to your birdhouse there. So now we've got the front, we've got the roof. All right, excuse me. So we're gonna do the back side now. And the first 3 rows are going to be the same as what we did before, which is nice and easy, right? So basically, we're going to do chain of 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we're going to single crochet in the second chain from our hook, and then across the line all the way to the other side, which is going to give us a total of 10 stitches. And then for the next 2 rows, we're doing our chain 1 and turn and doing our single crochets across. So we're not increasing or decreasing at all. We're just going across, okay? Talking about highway through hell. Chain 1 and turn, going back across again. Okay. And then once we hit the end, we're doing this one more time before we start doing any kind of decreasing or anything like that. I love that you guys can just chit chat while I'm trying to stay focused so I don't start flubbing up. Chain 1 and turn. Thank you, Martha. Oh my gosh. And then we're going back across. One last time here. So this is our 3rd row. All right. Almost there. Okay, then again, so the first 3 are the same, but also we're going to keep building it up. So we're doing the back side right here, all right? So we do need to build it up a little higher before we do the decreasing, but we're not going to be skipping any stitches. We're not having any holes on the back unless you want to have holes depending on your stick, right? So if you wanted to have a hole because you found a stick that's got one coming out the back, then you would do the same thing you did over here where you did a chain 2, skip 2, and then you worked back across, putting single crochets in the chain 2 space, right? So you could do that wherever you needed to on this, really, to create holes for your whatever branch that you guys find. But mine was just a straight up post, and I just wanted the one in the front. So that's all I'm doing on this one. But, you know, you can customize, which is nice, right? You're just creating those little gaps that are big enough for a little thin branch to go through, but not big enough to really, you know, alter your shape of your house at all. So we're just keeping going back and forth. We're going to do that actually all the way through the 7th row. So rows 1 through 7 are just going back and forth actually. So just keep on going. Keep on trucking along here. Chain 1 and turn. And now go back along the line here. Okay. You guys are bookmarking shows. Is that what I'm reading? Nice. Got something to watch for later, right? Chain 1 and turn, keep on doing that. See, this is a really nice yarn too. I like it. This big twist tweed. I was looking all over. I did not see that yarn anywhere. So I don't even know if it exists anymore. I think originally I thought it was one of the Red Heart ones that has the fleck in there. So there was like Aran fleck, and then I have another one that's kind of almost this color, but maybe not quite as vibrant of a brown that has the fleck in there. And I thought that this was of that line, but I did not see it at all. I only saw those other two at Joann's. So, okay, chain 1 and turn. Let's make sure 2, 4, 6. I got one more row. Exactly. Yep, Martha. I know, and that's kind of what I did, but then I didn't have enough. I didn't have enough to make the chimney. Now I could use this yarn to make the chimney because it's very similar. But I think what I'm going to do actually is just to save the chimney for if I turn this into a gingerbread house pattern. I was thinking of doing that. So then I will make a chimney for it. And so we can make that next time, but that'll be a different video. That will probably, I don't know if I'll do that as a live or just have a video and I'll edit it down, an abridged version, right? Okay, so for row 8, we're going to do decreases on the ends. So there's this first decrease here, those two together, then just single crochet across till you get to the last 2, and then decrease on the other side as well. So it's 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then another decrease. Okay. Good. Chain 1 and turn. Hey, this is one of the best ways to make a good friend, I think, on the YouTube streets. All right, so now that we've done that, row 9, we're going to do the same thing. So we're decreasing again on the ends. That's putting 2 together, right? And then single crochet 4 across, 3 and 4. All right, and then do another decrease on that other end, just like that. Okay, so see, we're building the sides up to the pitch of the back side of the house. So chain 1 and turn. Next, we're just doing 2 rows of single crochet across, and then we'll do some more decreasing, okay? Lana, taking Thor out. Okay, sounds good. That's her puppy dog, I think. I'm like, that's a dog, not a cat, right? We actually have we have a neighbor that has a couple of Bengal cats, and she takes them out into their backyard, and then she actually walks them too. But they're not as big as a normal Bengal, so, but they have the really cool cheetah spots. You're left-handed, Martha? I do have some left-handed tutorials, and I do flip the videos a lot of times, and that way you can do the left hand. All right, chain 1 and turn. So just double checking 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 11. And now we're on row 12 is decreasing on the ends again, and then 2 single crochets, and then another decrease. Get upstairs and get my turkey in the brine. Okay. Going to go ahead and bake my cheesecake first. I will need to rearrange my fridge and have room for stuff. Oh, nice, Martha. Or not Martha, Margaret. So enjoy doing that. And hopefully making that turkey delicious. Brining turkey is always a good idea. So we decreased in the last one. We're going to do a chain 1 and turn again. And then we'll just do 2 decreases. So that's putting those 2 together, going in, yarning over, pull forward a loop, going in again to the next one, pull forward another loop, yarn over, and pull through all those loops. Chain 1 and turn, and do 1 more decrease. Bye, Margaret. I'll see you tomorrow in the morning at Kim's. All right, we're just doing 1 last decrease here. And we're going to leave a tail, snip away, and pull that tail through our loop. So there's that end. Set that one aside. And now we just need to do 2 side pieces. So we did the front, the back, and the rooftop tiles. Now we're going to do the sides, and then we'll have the bottom, and those are the last of the pieces to make for the birdhouse. Okay, So let's just we'll make the pieces today, and then I think maybe tomorrow we'll assemble, or not tomorrow, it would be Friday, right? I've got it scheduled for Friday. Then we can assemble the birdhouse on Friday, okay? So we'll just finish up making all the pieces today, and then we'll just have a little light day on Friday, and then that's that. So we'll start again with a slip knot on our hook. And we are starting with a chain of 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Single crochet into the second chain from your hook, and then back across the line there, and you should end up with 8 stitches. Okay. So 8 stitches, and then we're doing our chain 1 and turn on the ends. All right, so chain 1, turn your work, and then just go back across. So we're going to have the same thing. It's a very simple little rectangle piece on the sides. So all you're going to do is have total of 7 rows of single crochet across. And that's it. That's all that this piece is. And then you make it twice. It's nice and easy, you guys. A nice and easy one. Oops. Here we go. Chain 1 and turn. And we're just going back across, nice and easy. So if you're not working on the birdhouse, what are you guys working on? I know Lana is working on a shawl, but what is everyone else working on? Let me know. I like to live vicariously through others. Oops. Let me take a sip of my coffee. It's getting watery, you guys. What are you sipping on? Do you have any nice cold or hot beverage that you're enjoying? I have a iced Kokomo from Dutch Bros, and it's delicious. Chain 1 and turn, and I'm going to go back again. Christmas cardigan. Awesome, Kimberly. Which yarn were you using again? Wasn't it one of the big twist? Or was it the same one that I'm using, or that one you already worked with that one, I think. So maybe you got one of the other ones. Almost got my cow done, resting my hands. Yeah, taking a break. That's a good idea. Dazzling. Oh, I thought you were bedazzling. You're talking and dazzling. Never mind. Do people still bedazzle things? I think they do. That's random, but that's what I was thinking about. Like, bedazzling. All right. Working on the top, your top that you were doing. Oops. Oh, I've got 2 going. I know, I was trying to think. I was saying earlier today in one of the lives, I thought I had 4 or 5 whips going that were ones that I've started recently, and then I have a whole bunch of other ones that I haven't worked on in years. But I don't know if that's actually true. I've got a scarf, a cardigan, 2, 4, 6, 7. That's that. So let's pull that one out. So that's your little side piece here. Snip it away, and we're going to make one more of those. All right, so get another slip knot on your hook. All right, and we'll chain again, chaining 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Single crocheting in the second one from the hook, and then back across, and just keep going back and forth with a chain 1 turn at either end. But yeah, so I've got the okay, so I've got the Christmassy cardigan. It's a cocoonigan. My son's scarf. I have a Peppermonte giant snail pillow thingamajigger. I have the Yummy Cat's purse that I'm designing. So that's 4. What else do I have? I have the strawberry purse bag from Shy. That's 5. Did I start anything else? I feel like that's not it, you guys. I'm like looking around here. I mean, technically Santa, right? But we're almost done with him, so I don't know if I would count that. So maybe it is 5. I bought so much yarn though. I have all these plans in my head, but I don't think I've started other things. I hope. But other than that, I have a lot of other whips that I have started. Like I've got one of the Pika-Pow ones from the first Pika-Pow book that I need to finish. I have a Mizu, which is a character from my second book. I've already made one Mizu. I am making the second one, so like testing of the pattern kind of thing. So that's on, that one's in a bag. I have a Vettel, which is some character from a video game that somebody contracted me to make years ago. And I made one for him, and then I was making a second one. What else do I have? I have a couple of Whimsies, which is also my character's. She's a spider. But I have a couple of Whimsies that need to be assembled and need their legs. And I have 1 or 2 Rollins, the roly-poly, that need to be finished. I have a cat. I was turning one of my popular cat patterns, which is for a character named Kyo from Fruits Basket. It's an anime, and his pattern is up on my Geek Shikarumi shop. But I'm taking that pattern and sort of redesigning it and making a cat. I was going to make it with like a shawl. And so I've got that in a bag. What else do I have? I have a sea dragon that was somebody else's pattern from years and years ago. That is, the sea dragon's body is done. The yellow sea dragon's body's done, but it doesn't have any of its little fin things. I've got that. And then I've got a little elf character that I've made the body and the dress and the ears, but the hair was a mess. The pattern was a mess, and that's where I stopped. So it's a bald, faceless doll in there with a dress on. Oh my goodness. It's terrible, you guys. It's like, oh, when you really stop to think about all the things that you've started and not finished. Oh, I have a Totoro pixel blanket that I started and never finished. And I have another blanket that I started knitting for my daughter to have when she was a baby and then never finished. So that's still there to be finished. Oh my gosh. Yeah, see, this is what happens with ADHD brain. You start projects because you get really excited, and then you get excited about something else and you're off on another tangent. So the channel is actually forcing me to finish things, which is a good thing. So 2, 4, 6, and 7. So that's the end of that one. Cut that one off and tie it off. Yeah, you know, Christmas messed you up. Yeah, I get that. All right, last but not least, this is my pattern up here, you guys. Literally written in pen. That's why sometimes I'm like going slow because I have the crossouts because it's not an official pattern. I worked it up just for this pattern, for this tutorial. This is like my Shabu bead pattern. Anyway, so we're going to do one last time, starting a slip knot on our hook here. And we're going to start with a chain of 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Single crochet in the second chain from your hook. And then on the rest across, we're just single crocheting. I have a nice box of misfits, yes, like spiders missing their legs, roly-polies all in pieces, with their little faces made, but they're like just little balls, you know, because they're not actually set into the body yet. Oh man. That's why I really need to do, I think if I, like one way I was thinking of holding myself accountable was to make a video where I show off all my different whips, and then I'll either decide if it's something I want to keep and work on it, and then we'll do that on the channel, or, you know, I know sometimes people actually give whips away so other people can finish them, so that's another option. So anyway, all right, rows 2 and 3. Same thing, single crochet across, chain 1, turn, single crochet across. You have so many whips, Martha. Do you have more than I have? Because I listed quite a few. I don't even think that's all of them though, you guys. Like if I do a video, I'm going to deep dive into my closet, into the corners, you know, that are hidden away. And I'm going to find every last whip, and I'm going to organize them and decide what we're going to do with them, because the thing of it is that they're always looming over you, right? Because you haven't finished them, but you know they're there. So they're just like another one of those things that's in the back of your mind that you haven't finished, and it nags at you. Even if it's just a slight nag, over time it gets bigger and bigger, right? Because you keep adding to it. So I need to get them done. I need to get them done, or I need to get them out. So I think that we'll do that together, because you guys are my friends. You're my friends on the YouTube streets. You can help me decide what I'm doing so that I can cross them off my list. All right, so now we're going to do what we did, our chain 1, 2 turn. And you kind of need to, Jesus, did I not even finish writing the pattern, you guys? Hang on a second. Bear with. Bear with while I look. I just want to double check what I did. All right, well, ultimately what we're doing, I'll just use this as my guide here. All right, so we're working it up this direction, right? So what we've got so far is this bottom part. Here we go. And you need to use your stick as your guide, okay? So this is going to change for each person depending on how wide your stick is. You might need this hole to be a different size. Okay, so we're working this just as we did on the front, where we built up the side, and then we connected the two and kept working up. That's what we're going to do on the bottom. But we need to double check with our stick. So here's Santa again. But you see how my stick fits nicely in that hole. And it's okay if the hole's a little bit big, it's okay. You know, but you just want to make sure that it's not too small. And so see that I'm using my stick as my guide for my Dollar Tree supplies too, because I needed this to fit over that stick. You see how I did that? So that might change a little bit, but you don't want anything that's going to be too thick, right? So it could be smaller, but you really don't want anything, I would say, any thicker than this, because that's going to change the size of the birdhouse that you're going to need to make, which we don't want. So this is just like kind of the perfect thickness. Should take here. Let's take a ruler, shall we? And just kind of take a look and see the thickness of this. So on the centimeter side, we're looking at about 1.5 centimeters. On the inches side, depending on where you live and what measurement scale system thingamajigger that you use, we are looking at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4/8 of an inch or so. 4/8 to 5/8, something like that. Wouldn't go any bigger than that though, you guys, okay? So that's sort of the size that we're looking at here. Started talking to your yarn, Lana? You're talking to your yarn. My kids were used to me talking to Thor and myself, but now it's the yarn. Oh my gosh, yes, New Year declutter, project declutter, right? That's right. Not to look at sales because my stash is big enough. I know. I feel you, Martha. I feel you. Okay. So mine, we've got 8 stitches across here. So I did my chain 1 turn. I'm going to do 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2. All right, chaining 1 and turning. 2 single crochets. Chain 1 and turn. And then we're just building it up until it's that thickness that we need, right? So that it's wide enough. So with mine, we can just kind of look together here. 2, 4, 5. So I did 5 back and forth rows here. Okay, so far we've got 3. So I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and I'll do that 2 more times. All right, so we're just building up one side first, chain 1 and turn, building up the other side like so. Okay. All right, so see, so that should be the same as this one, which it is. And then we're doing the same thing again. So I'm just going to fasten this off. We'll jump over to the other side here. And since it's only 2 on one side, you're only going to do 2 on the other side. So that just tells you you need to go over 1, 2, 3, 4. So skipping 4, going into the 5th stitch if you're doing the same size as I am. And we're just going to do 2 single crochets. And then chain 1 turn, and we're building up the other side just like we did this side. You pretend it's Thor. Half personal, half person, and oh, half personal, half business for your yarn. Yeah, I think that's true for many of us. I think that's true for a lot of us. Although, I don't know, they just kind of coincide with each other, right? A lot. Okay. So now we're just doing 1 more across here. All right. So now you can see that we've got the same amount on either side. So let's just chain 1 and turn this time. We'll do our 2 single crochets. 1 and 2. We're going to chain 4 to go back across. 4. And then we need to pick up those other 2 on the other side. Okay. 1 and 2. There we go. So that's formed our little rectangle there. Now chain 1 and turn. And do 2. Then go across those chains. So there's the 4 chain here, and then we'll have 2 on the other side that we got to go through. So we're just building up the other side to be even with what we had on the first side, basically, of our rectangle. All right, so there we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just counting 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I've got 1 more. 4. And then the 2 at the end there. Okay. Chain 1 and turn. And now you can just go back across, right? So now you can just go back across until both sides are equal. So we had 3 rows on that side, so that's 1 row. We've got to do 2 more on this side here. Okay. Whipped outdoors for a few hours or so. I've got to go outdoors for a few hours or so. Okay, sounds good. No business to blame yours on, Lana. All right. And then we're just going to go back across. one last time, and then the bottom is done, you guys. 1, 2, 3. That's the 4 in the middle. Yep, that's right. Okay, there we go. So see, there's your bottom, right? So both sides, on either side, it should look even in thickness, and then these sides are even as well. You've left enough of a gap there to put your little stick through, and then you can go ahead and cut this away. I'm holding off on making my other turtle dove because when we come back on Friday, we're going to we'll assemble our birdhouse. Okay, so you will need, if you are going to make the birdhouse, you will need a little bit of cardboard because we're making a roof, a little bit of a pitched roof and a backing. This is just giving our birdhouse a little more stability. And then we're going to put these together. These are just from Dollar Tree, you guys. There's packs of little squares, wood squares. And then there's little packs. This is a Jenga tile. So I just glued Jenga tiles and these little wood squares to create this little platform base, which is what our stick will go through, right? And then our birdhouse sits on top. So this is just to give a little stability, and we will put all of these together. We'll do our other turtle dove, and we can also add moss, and we can, you know, just deck it out. So if you want to have a little string of lights that you could always put up your staff there for Santa, we can do that as well. So lots of fun options as we come back on Friday, but I will be back on tomorrow, you guys. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving here in the States. So I will be back on, and I'm going to be working on my Peppermonte ginormous snail. He is huge. He is a pillow, or I'm going to plan for him to be a pillow. So at 11 o'clock in the morning, Pacific Standard Time, I will be back, and we will be working on Peppermonte. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.